What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields the second. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy. Y'all know where my body be. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, man. You know, we got some things to get into. Got a lot of things to talk about, man. I know we, as a fan base, right? I know we're a little concerned about what's going on with the Eagles right now, but best believe we're going to break it down step by step, note by note, and we're going to hope for the best, man. But again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. You know what I mean? On top of that, is make sure you guys are fully aware. So make sure you guys are fully aware that you have access to this content, not only on YouTube, right? You know, I always enjoy you guys watching the playbacks on YouTube. You know what I mean? The numbers have been doing very well lately, so I appreciate that. But also, just know you guys have options. You can lock in on Apple Podcasts. You can also lock in on Spotify, right? And also check me out on Instagram and TikTok, you guys, you know, at ChalkItUp_sports. So, yeah, man, make sure you guys stay engaged, stay locked in, and we're going to have a good time today, even though we probably don't have much good to discuss today as it pertains to the Philadelphia Eagles injury report. So, Let's not waste any time. Let's not bury the lead here. We all saw the news. We've all been keeping up with the Philadelphia Eagles since yesterday. Yesterday was their how do you say, open practice. Yesterday was their open practice at Lincoln Financial Field. It was a packed house. I think they sold out all the tickets. I think it was like 50,000 people there, 60,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. I heard it was just pandemonium there, right? But what was supposed to be a fun night at Lincoln Financial Field turned out to be a night of concern for Landon Dickerson. Now, Landon Dickerson, three-time Pro Bowl left guard for the Philadelphia Eagles, he went down with what appeared to be a leg injury, but it was just recently reported via Adam Schefter that it appears to be that Landon Dickerson suffered some sort of a meniscus injury to his right knee. And again, that's not really telling us much, right? We don't know if something's strained. We don't know if something's torn or ruptured. Look, I'm not a doctor, right? I don't know all the lingo and all the language, right, when it comes to a meniscus injury. But, we've heard about meniscus injuries as it pertains to Joel Embiid, and we've heard about meniscus injuries when it came to, I think, JJ McCarthy, and so on and so forth. And the recovery time for meniscus injury can vary just based off of the severity of said injury to the meniscus. Again, I have no idea how to really get into this thing. It's spooky because obviously Landon Dickerson is a key part of this offensive line. Landon Dickerson is a phenomenal football player. And how things went down was, again, he suffered the injury somehow, some way. I think maybe somebody stepped on his foot and he landed awkwardly on his right knee, or maybe he got twisted up a little bit and he needed help getting to the sideline. And ultimately, he was unable to put weight on it, and therefore he had to be carted off from the sideline to the medical room, to the locker room. So he was scheduled to receive an MRI today, and again, all we know is that it was a meniscus injury. We don't know anything about a tear, and I don't know. The longer this news takes to become clear, the more concerned I'm becoming. And I have some questions for the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly. I feel like this is something that honestly could have been avoided. And obviously, you can't legislate injuries, you can't predict them, right? But my perspective is this: Landon Dickerson was already listed as limited in Saturday's practice, August 10th. He was listed, August 9th. He was listed as limited on August 9th because of a knee. And then when the open practice comes, he's listed as a full participant. But here's my thing. Try to follow me here, you guys. Just try to follow me here. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you guys disagree. But we've seen the Eagles be cautious with Zack Baun because he had some back tightness. We saw how cautious they've been with Zack Baun. We saw how cautious they were with Devontae Smith with his back tightness or soreness. Again, we don't know the specifics to those injuries. We just know they were dealing with some tightness, some soreness. We saw how precautious they were when it came to A.J. Brown's hamstring, right? I'm just keeping it a buck. We saw how precautious they were with Cam Jurgens because he's coming off back surgery. He was limited. I'm trying to understand why they weren't precautious with Landon's knee. Landon has battled ticky-tack injuries all throughout his career. But nonetheless, he still played a lot of football games. As a matter of fact, Landon Dickerson has played in 63 games out of a possible 68 games in his 4-year career. And he's also started in 62 games of those 63 games. The only game he didn't start was in his rookie season. But he's been available for 63 games out of a possible 68 games in his 4-year career. And on top of that, he's never missed a playoff game in his entire career. The guy is tough as nails. But that doesn't mean he didn't have moments throughout his career where he left the game early, then came back, missed some snaps here and there. Landon Dickerson, when he got drafted, it was known that I think he had an ACL tear in college, right? I think. And he's a guy that, despite battling ticky-tack injuries and nagging injuries, he's always been available to play for the most part. It's rare he misses a game. But again, I say, they've been very precautious with several players and their various injuries. I'm trying to understand why they weren't precautious with their superstar left guard. That's what's weird to me. And look, I'm not trying to blame anybody. What's done is done. I'm just curious how they discerned that, this guy is a full go. a full go for the open practice. Now, granted, is it the same knee that he was limited with in the Saturday practice? Is it the same knee? I believe it is. My man, what is it here? My man TDK 2343 says, is this Sweet Chin music? Yeah, this Sweet Chin. But TDK says they probably didn't think it was that bad, right? And you know what, Sweet Chin, you're probably right. You're probably right. Maybe they didn't think it was that bad. But because he's your star left guard, you just paid him a lot of money. I don't understand why you guys weren't just precautious like you always been, like you always have been. You held Devontae Smith out for like a week and some change. AJ Brown has missed multiple practices. Zack Baun hasn't practiced since like for 2 weeks. I don't get it. I don't understand. Nonetheless, what's done is done. And apparently it's a meniscus injury. We don't know the extent of it, but we know it's a meniscus injury. And the vagueness is making me nervous. That's just my humble opinion about it. Dickerson is a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's been instrumental in your success. He's been instrumental in this entire team's productivity in the running game. Without Landon Dickerson, you lose a lot of size on the interior, right? You know, you lost Mekhi Becton in free agency, so you lost a lot of size at right guard. And again, having a right guard and left guard at that size is an anomaly. Landon Dickerson and Mekhi Becton were unicorns, but Cam Jurgens isn't the biggest guy. So now, does Landon Dickerson being out and you having Tyler Steen at right guard, who's been playing very well, by the way, let's make that very clear. Tyler Steen's been playing very well, but he doesn't have the same frame as a Mekhi Becton. So you lose some size on the interior. Let's just call it what it is. And I just feel like in my heart of hearts, this could have been something that the Eagles wouldn't have to deal with right now if they were just precautious like they've always been. Now, look, was it a freak injury? Maybe. But if somebody was limited on Saturday, and I know their value to my team and my overall success, I'm going to be precautious. AJ Brown missed practices with the hamstring, and he was limited yesterday. He didn't do any team drills at the open practice. He did all sideline. He did all individual drills. He didn't do no team drills. He wasn't nowhere near anybody. He just did individual drills. Why not have Landon doing individual drills? Why not? If he was limited on Saturday, how much changed in 24 hours? Look, man, I'm not a doctor. Man. And I'm not going to pretend to be. Maybe they did their diagnosis and said he's good to go. And maybe the injury was literally a freak accident. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But the Eagles, again, they always are cautious with injuries, especially when it comes to starters. So it is what it is. You know, I ain't gonna spend. I'm not gonna harp on it. What's done is done. Now it's all about the timeline. Now it's all about when can he get back. We don't know. He could be out 3 weeks, 6 weeks. May not see him until mid-season. The bye week, we don't know. We don't know. So we're going to take it one day at a time, one report at a time. But again, I say the vagueness of the reporting on this injury is making me nervous. Now here's the silver lining. The Philadelphia Eagles have one of the most phenomenal offensive line coaches in football. And the Philadelphia Eagles make it a point to invest in their offensive line depth, be it through free agency or the draft. They develop. So now the question becomes, who will step up in Landon Dickerson's stead? I'm hearing it could be Matt Pryor. Maybe he moves from the right side. You know, Matt Pryor can play right guard and right tackle. He's also played some left guard as well in his career. Matt Pryor has been a versatile offensive lineman in this league. He's stayed active in this league because of his ability to be multidimensional, right? He's always been a rotational offensive lineman. He had some starting reps, I think, with the Colts and with the Bears as well. But he started a lot of football games. I think he started the entire season last season with the Bears, if I'm not mistaken. So, and trust me, you can do a lot worse than Matt Pryor. So maybe Matt Pryor moves over to left guard, you keep Steen at right guard, or maybe Tyler Steen moves to left guard and you put Matt Pryor at right guard. Maybe Brett Toth steps up at left guard. That's been something that's happened before. Maybe Darian Kennard steps up at left guard. Maybe Drew Kendall. Drew Kendall is somebody who's an interior offensive lineman, has experience playing not only center, but also playing guard. It all remains to be seen. This is all very fresh. We're not even 48 hours removed from the situation. And the Philadelphia Eagles do have time to figure out what their long-term plan will be, depending on how long Landon Dickerson is out. They do have time to figure out a game plan. And I have no doubt the game plan will be sufficient. But no one will be able to replace Landon Dickerson. He's a mauler. He's a mauler. He's one of few guards that have been voted as a Pro Bowler for 3 consecutive seasons. So we'll see, man. We'll see. The last thing I want to do is dwell and start pointing a finger at anybody. But I have questions, and I'm not gonna deny or hide my questions because it makes anyone uncomfortable. Part of me feels like they could have did more. But also part of me says, maybe it was a freak injury. Can't predict these things, can't legislate these things. The football gods work in mysterious ways. So, prayers up to Landon Dickerson. We have no idea what the timetable is. We have no idea the extent of this meniscus injury. But it has been reported via Adam Schefter that it is a meniscus injury. And we will see how the Philadelphia Eagles maneuver and adjust going forward. And they will have plenty of time to get their cohesion together, because offensive line play is all about chemistry, cohesion, knowing what the person next to you is going to do and understanding their habits and their tendencies and what they like to do and where they like to be and so on and so forth, right? Trust. So they're going to have time to build that chemistry, build that trust from the ground up with a new left guard. And I think, like my man S. Blunt said here, I think you may be right. I think Matt Pryor may go right guard and Tyler Steen may go left guard. Because Matt Pryor has played with Lane Johnson before. They have a history. I don't think Matt Pryor has played with Jordan Mailata before. But Tyler Steen has. So we'll see. I have no doubt Jeff Stoutland will get this thing figured out. Unfortunately, you do lose some size on the offensive line. You do. But the Eagles, they do a good job at investing in the trenches. They do a good job at investing in their developmental process when it comes to these offensive linemen. So we'll see, man. They have options. They have options. All right, I want to move on from the Landon Dickerson debacle. I want to move on to some observations from the open practice that took place at Lincoln Financial Field, man. Shout out to the people in Philly. Shout out to my city, man. Everybody showed up. Everybody showed up and showed out, man. It was so dope to see a packed house. The players were into it. Everybody was into it, man. You know, before I get specifically into all my observations from the open practice, I do want to give a little Jakorian Bennett update, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, as a reminder, they traded for Jakorian Bennett. And remember, Jakorian Bennett is a cornerback. Eagles traded for him with the Raiders. Eagles traded Thomas Booker IV, their D tackle, to the Raiders for the 24-year-old cornerback, the 24-year-old third-year corner, Jakorian Bennett. And this trade came on the heels of, or how can I put this? I don't want to say on the heels of. This trade came in response to the lack of excitement in the CB2 competition. Prior to the trade, Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson have been competing directly with each other for that starting cornerback 2 spot. And Eli Ricks' name has been brought up in the process, but it's really been a 2-horse race. But the competition hasn't really been developing. Neither Ringo nor Adoree Jackson nor Eli Ricks have done enough to create distance between themselves and each other. No one has stood out as the clear front runner for the job. So the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman says, you know what? We got to get ahead of this. He trades for a corner in Jakorian Bennett on Monday, August 4th, around 5:30 to 6 p.m. And Jakorian Bennett made a beeline to Philadelphia. He had about 5 hours to gather his essentials and travel cross country to Philadelphia. And he first made his appearance the following day on Tuesday, August 5th. He was on the Eagles sideline. He wasn't dressed. You know, he was just observing, just watching, just taking it all in. You know, even though the trade wasn't even technically official yet, he was still on the sideline. He was in Philadelphia, you know, making his face seen. And he wasn't even active for the Thursday night preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals, which is what I expected. I think we all expected that. He was traded for on Mondays. No way he's going to be playing on Thursday, right? So I think we all expected that. And so, therefore, he didn't officially hit the practice field. He wasn't active until Saturday morning, August 9th. Saturday morning, August 9th, he was officially active, had his pads on, had his helmet, you know, got fitted for everything. He was ready to go. Now, between that time, between him getting traded and between him making his first appearance on the practice field Saturday, he was just taking that time to take in the playbook and just understand what's required of him in this Vic Fangio defense. And during his first practice, he mixed in with the second team defense and got some extra work at the end of practice during the developmental period. Right, he mixed in with second and third team defense. He didn't get no first team reps his first practice. But then now we get to the open practice. Now we get to Sunday, August 10th. And Jakorian Bennett got his first shot with the ones, got his first shot with the first team defense during the late period of the open practice. Now, Adoree Jackson, he got the first crack with the ones on Sunday. But eventually Ringo would mix in and Jakorian Bennett ultimately got his opportunity. So now Jakorian Bennett is officially in the mix for the starting cornerback 2 spot. Jakorian Bennett is now officially a threat to Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. Now, he didn't have any plays that were jaw-dropping or mind-blowing in the open practice. But, we're going to get to some observations from the Eagles open practice. We're going to break that down a little bit more. Before I do so, let me get to this super chat here. Philip Thomas, what's going on? Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, the Eagles probably thought they could have done more. However, the adversity may make the Eagles stronger in the long run. Hey, man, look, this Eagles team is built for adversity. They're built for anything that may come their way. So, hey, don't get me wrong, brother. I know this team is I know Landon is tough as nails. I know this team is as tough as nails. They've been through it all. They've seen it all. They're Super Bowl champions. They are prepared and ready for anything that may come their way. They're battle tested. Don't trust me. Don't think I doubt that. Don't think I doubt that. So we'll see. We'll see what the developments will be as it pertains to Landon Dickerson's health and that meniscus. We'll see. Because, again, it's all still very vague right now. But I don't think, if I had to give you guys my educated guess or my uneducated guess, because I'm not a doctor, right? If I had to give you guys my uneducated guess, I would probably say Landon will be back no later than the bye week. No later. That means he could be back week 4, week 5. I don't think he's gone no longer than the bye week. He could be back week 2, week 3. We don't know. But I don't think this issue extends beyond the bye week. And I think the Eagles bye week is in week 9. Week 9. So they have 2 more weeks of preseason and then 8 weeks before the bye week. So we got 10 weeks before the bye week, you guys. 10 weeks. I think Landon Dickerson's back before that. So, yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Philip. FCB Panda says, I read Bennett was with the third team yesterday. He also got in with the first team towards the end of practice. He also got in with the first team as well. But he's officially in the thick of this competition now. But yeah, let's get to some observations from the open practice. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. You guys have been phenomenal thus far. Let's keep the ball rolling. We got over 100 people in the stream. We only got 100 likes. Make sure you guys do your due diligence and make sure you smash that like button. Stay active, you guys. That like button is currency in this YouTube space. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to my content, my name is Tone DeShields II. Grateful for you being here. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure you're here for a long time and not just a good time. Appreciate you. Okay. So let's get some injury updates out of the way. We already talked about Landon Dickerson's situation. As far as people who did not practice yesterday, Elijah Cooks, wide receiver, did not practice yesterday with a shoulder injury that he sustained in the preseason game. Quinyon Green, guard, who the Eagles traded for with the Texans, did not practice due to a shoulder injury as well. The new Eagles long snapper, who they signed via free agency, who was with the Browns, he did not practice with a neck injury. Montrell Johnson, I believe he's a running back, did not practice with the hamstring. And Byron Young, D tackle, did not practice due to a groin. And as far as limited goes, Zack Baun was limited with the back situation. He did individual drills, and A.J. Brown was limited with the hamstring. He did individual drills as well. All right, let's move on. As far as some depth chart and rotation updates, like I said to you guys earlier, Adoree Jackson got the first look with the ones. Jakorian Bennett and Keely Ringo eventually got their opportunities and rotated in as well with the first team. But Adoree did get the first look, and Jakorian Bennett got his first look with the ones. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Jihaad Campbell, they were first up at linebacker. Like I mentioned, Zack Baun is still limited. Trotter Jr., Jihaad, Campbell have been playing very well. Cooper DeJean continues to get reps at safety in the Eagles' base formation. So this is starting to look like a thing they're going to commit to. Whenever the Philadelphia Eagles are in their base package, basically 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Well, actually, the Eagles run a 3-4. So technically, 3D tackles. You got your 2 inside linebackers and you got your 2 edge rushers, your 2 off-ball linebackers. So that's their base. Their base is a 3-4. And then, again, Cooper DeJean, this is looking like something that's going to be pretty consistent. DeJean is going to be the starting safety in base, and he'll move back to the nickel or move back to the slot when they go into their nickel package. And that's where Sidney Brown comes in. Sidney Brown has the edge over Andrew Makuba. Andrew Makuba is back onto the practice field. He's officially not listed as an injured participant. So now Andrew Makuba has to play catch up. And Sidney Brown has the edge on him right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Andrew Makuba does in the next preseason game. I think it's going to be Thursday against the Browns. It's going to be really interesting to see how he handles that, because that could be a key moment for him, maybe to jump Sidney Brown. We'll see. But right now, Sidney Brown is still getting the starts at safety when the Eagles go into their nickel package. And Cooper DeJean is getting the starts at safety when they go into base, the base 3-4. Makuba started the open practice with the second team, but eventually did get snaps with the first team, but it wasn't in nickel. He got snaps with the first team when they went into their dime package. That's 6 DBs on the field and 1 linebacker. Now let's get to the on-field observations, right? Let's get to some things that happened. I did a lot of reading over the past 24 hours, and I compiled some notes based off of some of the key things that were pretty cool to see, pretty cool to hear about from the open practice. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. All right, let's start with Quinyon Mitchell, man. Quinyon Mitchell has just been having a hell of a summer. All right, hold on one second. Hold on one second, you guys. I think there's an update here. Let's see here. All right. I just got an update from Adam Schefter. Let's zoom in on this thing. Let's bring this up on screen, you guys. This is breaking news. We have an update regarding Landon Dickerson's situation here. This is breaking news, you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. This is breaking news. All right. So let me fix this, make it easy for you to see. All right. So it says here, the best case scenario for Eagles Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson is thus. He will undergo what's being described as a minor procedure on the meniscus in his right knee in the coming days. Dickerson then will be considered week to week, with the goal of returning for the Thursday night, September 4th regular season opener versus the Cowboys. This is phenomenal news. This is phenomenal news. Man, Adam Schefter's on it. He is on it. But again, remember, this is best case scenario. Best case scenario. Now, granted, we obviously want more information, but the fact that this is an option, the fact that this is a possible scenario is fantastic. It's fantastic. Best case scenario, Landon Dickerson will undergo what's being described as a minor procedure on the meniscus in his right knee in the coming days. Dickerson then will be considered week to week, with the goal of returning for Thursday night, September 4th, the regular season opener versus the Cowboys. Now here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. He may be back week 1, but don't put it past the Eagles to put him on IR and he comes back week 5. Don't put it past him. Now, obviously, it's not season ending. That's what I take. That's what I take from this. It's not season ending, but don't be surprised if the Eagles ultimately decide to put him on IR and just play it safe and bring him back week 5. I'm just saying. Make sure you guys are prepared for that potential outcome. Landon is tough as nails. He's relentless. We know he's going to attack the rehab. It's great news nonetheless. But just be prepared for them to put him on IR just to be on the safe side. But the fact that he could potentially play week 1 is a sign of good fortune for him, his family, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And like Tiffany said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. The season is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint, you guys. So that's good news to hear about Landon Dickerson. Very, very, very good news to hear. All right, let's get back to the open practice, you guys. Let's get back to the open practice. All right, where was I with my notes? All right, let's start talking about Quinyon Mitchell, man. Quinyon Mitchell's been having an amazing training camp, and everybody knows it. He continues to have a dominant summer. There was a moment in the practice where Quinyon Mitchell was able to break up 2 passes from Jalen Hurts that were supposed to go to Devontae Smith. The first pass was on the left sideline, and Mitchell was super sticky in coverage, and he just stayed in Devontae Smith's hip pocket the entire time, and was able to break up the pass. And the second opportunity he had was on a comeback route, and Mitchell timed it perfectly to climb Devontae Smith's back and break up the pass, so he didn't get called for a defensive pass interference. So Quinyon Mitchell has been showing tremendous technique, tremendous instincts, tremendous ball skills, great footwork. And Devontae Smith is not an easy cover. He's not an easy cover at all. And on top of that, Quinyon Mitchell's been making these plays on both sides of the field, left side and right side. Right? Now, Devontae Smith was able to redeem himself. Devontae Smith was able to get his revenge, not necessarily on Quinyon, but on his homie, Cooper DeJean. Devontae Smith was able to beat Cooper DeJean down the right sideline for a 25-yard touchdown. He hit him with a double move. And Jalen Hurts was able to fit the ball into the breadbasket. Sidney Brown was coming over the top at safety. And Cooper DeJean was trailing Devontae right on his back. And Jalen Hurts was able to drop the ball right into the bucket in between the safety and the corner, making it a beautiful pass by Jalen Hurts, a beautiful catch by Devontae. And, of course, that Devontae-Jalen Hurts connection just continues to thrive. So Devontae was able to kind of get his get back a little bit. You know what I mean? Also, I want to show love to the Eagles linebackers. The Eagles linebackers have been playing phenomenal as well. They had a good practice. Overall, the defense had a phenomenal practice at Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles linebackers continue to shine. Fangio decided to send Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Jihaad Campbell on some linebacker blitz situations. He first sent Trotter Jr., and he was able to get by Saquon Barkley and was able to get the sack, the quote-unquote sack on Jalen Hurts. And Jihaad Campbell later had an opportunity to blitz, and he was able to get by Saquon Barkley as well and was able to get the quote-unquote sack on Jalen Hurts as well. You know, Campbell's pressure ultimately led to a Nolan Smith pick 6. This was a situation where the Philadelphia Eagles offense was backed up into their own end zone. They were backed up at their own goal line. It was one of those situations, and the offense had to find a way to create some space or get out of it. And Jihaad Campbell getting pressure on Jalen Hurts ultimately led to a Nolan Smith pick 6. So Nolan Smith was able to make the most of it. Jihaad Campbell got pressure. You know, Jalen Hurts. You know, listen, these are the kind of situations that Jalen Hurts is going to have to experience. This is not something I indict Jalen Hurts on. It's training camp, it's practice. You're trying things, you're trying to get freaky. You're forcing the issue. You're trying to experiment, right? So shout out to those linebackers for doing what they do. And, this tells me more about the linebackers than it does Jalen Hurts, if anything. Also, Smile Mondon was able to get in on the action as well. He was able to snag a quote-unquote sack of his own. So the Eagles linebackers have been playing very well. They've been playing very well, man. Very, very well. If you guys are just joining the live stream, we've already addressed the recent update on Landon Dickerson's injury. We got into it pretty extensively. We spent maybe the first 20 minutes. We spent maybe the first 20 to 25 minutes breaking down Landon Dickerson's situation. And in the past 5 or 10 minutes, we broke down the update via Adam Schefter. So if you guys are just joining, we've already addressed Landon Dickerson's situation. Moving on. I want to talk about Jihaad Dotson, who's been having a strong summer as well. Jihaad Dotson, remember, when he got traded to the Eagles, he missed pretty much the entire training camp. He didn't get a chance to really work with Jalen Hurts in the offseason. Now he's having way more time to work with Jalen Hurts and build that chemistry. And him and Jalen Hurts' chemistry have been really strong. Jihaad Dotson's been making an impact all summer, and he showed it by securing a very tough catch on the sideline from Jalen Hurts. And he was able to tap his left foot and drag his right foot. So Jihaad Dotson's been looking very good. We even saw Jihaad Dotson in the first series in the Bengals preseason game, and he had 2 catches off of 2 targets. He looked really smooth, really confident, had a strong release, was able to beat his guy on 2 different occasions with very simple, very sleek moves. I feel like the worst thing a receiver can do at the line of scrimmage is do too much, right? Do all that shaking and baking, all that style and no substance. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and even Jihaad Dotson, and Darius Cooper as well, they're showing that you ain't got to do too much at the line of scrimmage to beat your man, especially if you know what you're doing. Moving on, Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown also had a pretty decent day. Sidney Brown was able to make a great play in the red zone with a well-timed pass breakup on Dallas Goedert. The ball was coming for Dallas Goedert. Sidney Brown managed to get in there and jar the ball loose. So Sidney Brown has been making plays as well. He's getting stronger, getting better. And again, he has the edge on Andrew Makuba. And Dallas Goedert, as we all know, he's not an easy matchup for anybody. Now, Moro Ojomo, another guy who's having a fantastic summer. Moro Ojomo has been living in the backfield all summer long. He's been getting pressure on Jalen Hurts. He's been getting pressure on everybody, man. And he was able to get into the backfield again to combine with Nolan Smith on a sack and later batted down a Jalen Hurts pass at the line of scrimmage in the backed up period when the Eagles offense was backed up at their own goal line. So Moro Ojomo has just been flashing all summer long. And honestly, man, he could potentially have a higher ceiling than Milton Williams. And Milton Williams was a phenomenal player for the Eagles, but I just think Moro Ojomo, bro, he has something cooking. And I just can't wait to see him next to Jalen Carter. It's going to be ferocious. The Eagles are going to get a lot of pressure up the interior, which is the worst thing for quarterbacks, right? Quarterbacks hate getting pressure up the middle. It offsets everything. And the Eagles are going to get a lot of pressure up the middle with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Moro Ojomo, Gabe Hall, right? I think those are your top 4 D tackles right now. Carter, Davis, Ojomo, Gabe Hall. Gabe Hall's been looking fantastic. He's been looking fantastic. As a matter of fact, Gabe Hall had a play yesterday where he was able to knife through into the backfield for a tackle for loss. And, his development has truly been something to watch. It really has been. Keely Ringo had a nice play on Darius Cooper. Keely Ringo had a pass breakup on Darius Cooper. Now, granted, the pass breakup on Darius Cooper via Keely Ringo, it could have easily been called for a defensive pass interference, but the refs decided to not call it. Fair enough. Keely Ringo got the play. Grant Calcaterra made a strong contested catch on Reed Blankenship as well. So Grant Calcaterra has been making plays. And Will Shipley, another guy who's been making plays, had a really strong play in the preseason game on a 38-yard run, and it's carrying over into onto the practice field. Will Shipley caught a couple passes on the sideline, caught a couple passes in the flat, and was able to cash them in for some big gains. So, those are pretty much the observations I have from the key observations from the Eagles open practice. You know, it was a fun night for everybody. It was exciting. And unfortunately, an injury occurred during it. But nonetheless, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are prepared to handle whatever comes their way. And we also got some great news about the situation. Again, I say, Landon Dickerson, the best case scenario via Adam Schefter, you know, he may have to go through, he will undergo what's being described as a minor procedure on the meniscus in his right knee in the coming days. And at that point, Landon Dickerson will be considered week to week, with the goal of returning for Thursday night, September 4th, the regular season opener versus the Cowboys. Now, the Eagles may play it safe. They may put him on IR and have him come back week 5, or he really may be good to go week 2, week 3. You never know. Or he just may be good to go week 1. It all remains to be seen. Let me see if I can find what you guys are talking about here. You guys have mentioned Mike Garafolo's tweet a couple times here. Let me see if I can find it. Mike Garafolo, where are you, buddy? There you are. Mike Garafolo. Here we go. All right. Let's see what we have here. So, Mike Garafolo, he says, and he tweets, relatively good news on Eagles Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson. He'll have a minor procedure on his knee and will be week to week, with the goal being he's ready for the start of the regular season. It's the same thing. There's nothing more definitive about this than Adam. It's the same thing. Oh, man. Look, it's good news nonetheless. It's good news. It's good news. Listen, Alex says no best case scenario BS. Well, when someone says with the goal being, if someone puts with the goal being, that means that's the best case scenario. You guys are funny, man. You guys are funny. Listen, we all want the best for Landon. I know we're all excited about the good news. But if someone puts best case scenario, and if someone else puts with the goal being, it means the same exact thing. It means the same exact thing. But nonetheless, though, it's not season ending. Best case scenario, he's week to week. Worst case scenario, they may put him on IR. And he's back week 5. Let me get to the super chat here by Fanny. Shout out to Fanny. She says here, and thank you for the $10, Fanny. She says, hey, Tone. Excuse me, you guys. She says, hey, Tone. Happy back to school week, chat parents. We got enough linebackers to fill the gap. Next man up. DB's not sure about. As they say, quote, everything comes out in the wash. Preseason is telling all, good and bad. Fanny, you couldn't be more right, man. You couldn't be right. All will be revealed in short order. All will be revealed in time. It's just good to hear that Landon Dickerson ultimately will be okay. And he won't miss half the season. He won't miss the whole season. Worst case scenario, he may miss week 1. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, he plays week 1. Actually, worst case scenario, they decide to say, you know what? Let's just be patient. Let's let you get fully healthy. Let's put him on IR. And at that point, he's back week 5 and he's a full go. Maybe that's how they play it. We'll see. But the best case scenario, he plays week 1. Which the fact that it's an option is remarkable. FCB Panda, my man Alex, he says, I read Gabe Hall left with trainers yesterday, but I never saw an update on him. Also, Darius Cooper has some snaps at kick returner and gunner. Oh, really? Interesting. You know what that tells me? That tells me, as far as Darius Cooper goes, that tells me that they're trying to find out just how versatile he is. And it also tells me that they want to get him on this roster. They want to get him on this roster. It's basically saying, hey, all right, we know he can play receiver. Let's find out what else he can do so we can really justify him being on his roster. So we can really maximize this guy's skill set. You know what I mean? I like it, though. That's a good sign for Coop. That's a good sign for Darius Cooper. That's a great sign for Darius Cooper. And if he can prove he can be a threat in the return game, hey, I think this is a great sign for Darius Cooper's prospects in making his roster. I really, really do. Now, again, remember, Aniyah Smith is a punt returner. Aniyah Smith doesn't really return kicks, if I'm not mistaken. Aniyah Smith returns the punts. So maybe it's a direct threat to Aniyah Smith, Darius Cooper getting kick return reps. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'll tell you what, this is a good sign. This is a good sign for Darius Cooper. This is a great sign. Yeah, FCB Panda, I think this is a direct shot to Avery Williams. That's what I think. All right. And Gabe Hall, yeah, maybe it was just, maybe it wasn't as bad as they thought. Maybe Gabe Hall's fine. Let me see if I can find something on Gabe Hall. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on Gabe Hall right now. Anything recent? Nah. Maybe it wasn't that bad. All right. Let's get this off screen here. All right, let's see. Okay, we're about to close the show, you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're new to the show, my name is Tone DeShields II. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. If you're just joining, we were discussing Landon Dickerson's injury situation. Landon Dickerson, based off of the updates we received from Adam Schefter and Mike Garafolo, it appears that Landon Dickerson injured his meniscus and he will undergo a minor procedure to repair whatever's been damaged. And best case scenario, he will be back by week 1. And if you ask me, worst case scenario, they put him on IR just to be safe, and he's back week 5. So it's not season ending, and he won't even miss half the season. Honestly, at best, he's week to week. So that's a great sign for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a great sign for Landon Dickerson, right? And we also got into training camp observations, right? Quinyon Mitchell's been balling. Jahan Dotson's been balling. The linebackers, Campbell and Trotter Jr., Smile Mondon have been playing well. Even Lance Dixon has been playing well at linebacker. He may not make the roster, but he may get picked up elsewhere. Devontae Smith, had a decent day, secured a touchdown grab. You know what I'm saying? The defense overall had a phenomenal day. Nolan Smith got a pick 6. So overall, I think the Eagles are making a lot of strides in training camp. I really, really do. It's really exciting. We even talked about Jakorian Bennett. Gave y'all some updates on him. Jakorian Bennett got his first opportunity with the starters. Got his first opportunity with the first team on Sunday. Adoree Jackson got the start with the first team, but Jakorian Bennett did get his opportunity to start with the first team later on in practice. So Jakorian Bennett is officially in the thick of this CB2 competition. Officially. All right. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Again, I say that like button is really important, right? We got over 161 people on the stream. We only got 80 likes. Let's try to get to 100 likes before I get out of here. Let's try to get to 100 likes before we get out of here, you guys. Again, we got over 170 people on the stream. Let me read some of your comments while we get to 100 likes. Let's see here. We got Dwight Jones says Landon Dickerson will be back for the start of the season. Great news. Absolutely great news, man. Because at that point, if it was more severe than we thought, we would have to figure out a long-term solution at left guard, right? With Tyler Steen move to left guard and then Matt Pryor play right guard. I think that's probably your best situation. You get your best players on the field, and Tyler Steen has experience playing left guard as well as right guard. So, and Matt Pryor has played a lot of right tackle and a lot of right guard, and he has experience playing with Lane Johnson in the past. So, thank God, it's not going to be something that's going to keep Landon Dickerson out for an extended period of time. Alex says here, I really think Makuba can take that starting safety spot. Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. He has to stay healthy for one to earn that spot. He has to beat out Sidney Brown, who's been making plays, and Sidney Brown has just been showing up. He's been available. Whatever Sidney Brown dealt with that shoulder in that preseason game, it didn't hold him out for extended time. So, Andrew Makuba, you got to catch up. You missed several days. He's playing catch up at this point. All right, we're about 9 likes away. We're about 9 likes away from that 100 mark, you guys. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's see what we have here. Alex says we'll have Darius Cooper on offense and defense. Rhino B says, and Ringo is the current gunner, so he better watch out too. And well, we'll see. You bring up a good point though. But I think Ringo makes the roster. Ringo is too good at gunner. He's very good at it. And so is Sidney Brown. Kate Robinson says Darius Cooper has to make the roster. I'm with you on that. The fact that they're trying him out at kick returner and gunner shows that they want to get him on his roster by any means necessary. That's a good sign for him. That's a great sign for him. All right, you guys, we're out of here. I'm really excited about what's to come. We got a preseason game this Thursday with the Browns. Make sure I got that right here. It is Thursday, right? No, Saturday. I'm sorry. We got a preseason game this Saturday. I'm sorry. I've been giving you guys wrong information. We have a preseason game this Saturday with the Cleveland Browns at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be aired on NFL Network. So make sure you guys lock in. We're going to see some more Darius Cooper. We're going to see some more Johnny Wilson. We're going to see some more Tanner McKee, right? Possibly. We may see more Dorian Thompson-Robinson and more Kyle McCord. That's probably what we're going to see because there's only 3 preseason games. And honestly, if you ask me, I think we saw enough from Tanner McKee. So we're probably going to see a lot of those guys, a lot of Darius Cooper, a lot of Elijah Cooks. We're going to see a lot of Smile Mondon, a lot of Lance Dixon, a lot of Byron Young and Gabe Hall, Ty Robinson. We're going to see a lot of Antoine Powell-Ryland as well. We're going to see a lot of Andrew Makuba, a lot of Lewis Seen and Andre Sam, Tristan McCullum. So it's going to be an exciting game to watch and really evaluate this team, man. So make sure you guys stay locked in. Alex says, how was that movie Weapons? Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you guys about that. Weapons was phenomenal. Weapons was phenomenal, man. It's the same guy that did Barbarian. If you guys saw Barbarian and liked Barbarian, you'll like Weapons. Weapons was awesome. It was fun. I had a great time at the movies watching Weapons, man. It was spooky. It was creepy. It was eerie. It kind of gave you mystery vibes. You know what I'm saying? It told the movie from multiple different perspectives and everything. The plot lines converged. It was a fun time at the movies, man. It even made me laugh. Me personally, because I watch a lot of movies. Me personally, I feel like every great horror has its fair share of comedic moments. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? Before we get out of here, I just want to get y'all thoughts on that. I feel like every great horror has its fair share of comedic elements, right? I can't think of a horror movie I've watched and not had my moments where I laughed. You know what I'm saying? the Halloween franchise, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, the Conjurings, the Insidious movies, right? The Paranormal Activities. What else? The Hellraisers. What else, man? The Scream franchise, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Every great horror movie has its fair share of comedic elements because sometimes that shit is just like, what? You got to laugh at it. You got to laugh. So, yes, Alex, perfect. That's exactly the point. It's how you break that tension. It's how you disarm. It's how you disarm. You use the comedy to disarm your audience a bit, and then you punch them in the mouth again. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, if you guys haven't seen Weapon Jet, go see it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's a fun time at the movies. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to enjoy yourself. I tell you that right now. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Great news on the Landon Dickerson front. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. You guys have been tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game, and it's fly Eagles fly.